Hello, lovely friends. Welcome back to the third episode of Don't Cry, You're So Sexy, Aha, the coolest new podcast in town. I am your host, Rad, and it is a beautiful Tuesday evening, and by that I mean it's like 11:30 in the night. So yeah, we're chilling. This is the only time of the day where things are like silent enough for me to record the episodes. So yeah, here I am. Um, it's been quite the week, I think. I mean, obviously, and honestly, I didn't even know how I was gonna record this today because even the act of recording this makes me feel like a narcissist. Doing anything right now which is not, you know, being actively anxious about the state of the world right now, or at least the state of my country right now, it just feels like a betrayal. I don't know to whom, but it just like feels like a betrayal, and it just feels futile to be talking about anything else right now. And yeah, I mean, not to be dramatic, but I think we're really living in one of the darkest moments in our country's history as we know it, at least how I know it as a 20-year-old. And it's kind of harrowing to be living through that. I know most of you are going through the same thing because, most of us live here in India. Things are so weird and things are so uncertain. And I mean, we're standing on a Tuesday today, but honestly, by the time this podcast releases on a Friday, I don't know what like my surroundings is gonna look like, or I don't know what the state of like just everything right now is gonna be like. Because literally last Friday, life was so different, and it was only marginally better, but it definitely looked different in a way. Okay, so life updates. I mean most of my friends will know that I've been trying to go back to the UK where I study for the past like 4 months now, and it's been a wildly unsuccessful effort because my flight just keeps getting cancelled. Earlier it was because the UK was in lockdown, and now it's because we are going into lockdown. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I've like given up, and my family has decided that I'm just not gonna go back in the near future because it's just too stressful to live life month by month, not knowing whether I'm gonna go back or not go back. So I just decided to stay here for the next few months at least. So that's nice. I mean, I had big hopes and dreams about going back. um, the lockdown is lifted there, and it's a completely different scenario. So I was like, okay, you know what? I've been safe here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna be safe, but I'm gonna have some fun as well. Like, I'm gonna see my friends and stuff. And now that's not happening, and that's a huge bummer. But at the same time, just it's nice to be with my family and to be with doggy. And I mean, it's not nice to be in lockdown, but well, more on that later. I genuinely feel like such a narcissist recording this right now. I don't feel like talking about myself, which is new for me because, as we all know, I love talking about myself, but it just doesn't feel right at the moment. So, in short, it's just been a loaded 2 weeks. There has been a mixture of emotions, there have been huge shifts in circumstances for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of you as well, because times are uncertain at the moment, baby, and just a lot going on, and it's been a lot. Being on social media is a lot, and yeah, it's been pretty wild to say in the least. I honestly just hope that you guys are safe, that your families are safe, and that you don't have COVID. And if you do have COVID, I hope it's not affecting you a lot. Yeah, I just hope that you guys are doing fine. Everything just seems to be getting closer and closer to home, especially this time, like in the second wave or the third wave. I don't even know which wave, but Yeah, I hope that you guys are doing fine. So, without further ado, let's get into the topic for this episode, which is can't deal, full stop. And it's basically just about the fact that it's just so hard. I mean, it's just really shitty, and it's really, I hate to say this, but it's just unprecedented being alive in this time. Like, now, I am sure none of us have really felt this before, because I know that. Oh, Siri turned on in the background. I don't know why. Because obviously, none of us have lived through a deadly pandemic before, unless the 49-year-old listening to this podcast is actually a 90-year-old and they lived through the Black Plague or something. No, it wasn't the Black Plague, it was the Spanish flu. Yeah, Spanish flu. Yeah, none of us have been through this before, and certainly none of us have been through this in the age of social media. It's just right now, just like being on social media and just being like existing right now feels like, even though we're in lockdown and it's a curfew and everything and you can't stay out of your house, mentally it feels like I'm standing alone in this hallway. Not alone, I'm just standing by myself in this hallway or like a big room or something, and then I just like people screaming for plasma, people screaming for oxygen and an ICU bed and things like that. And it's like things around me feel pretty calm. I'm at home. I'm not exposed to anything. I'm just sitting at home, chilling on the dog sometimes. But it just feels like I'm living through a very chaotic thing. And it just feels apocalyptic almost. Great. Sorry, that's my alarm to wake up. Sorry, that was really, really loud. Anyway, it just feels like I'm standing alone in this room and people are just screaming for help at each other, and I can't do anything. I can't move because, well, it would be irresponsible of me to literally get out of my house right now. So that's literally what it feels like. It just feels like you can't move and people around you are screaming and running around for help. I mean, the other day I was with my mom and we were like driving back to our place from my grandparents' place, I think, in the car. And yeah, we were just driving. Like, my mom was driving because I hate driving, but she was driving, and it just seemed so wild. Like, people were not following traffic rules. Yeah, everybody was like racing to get home. Like, usually on the roads there are like 3 lanes which you follow when you're driving a car, but there were like 50 lanes on a single road. Everybody was like honking like crazy. Pedestrians were everywhere. Like, it just felt like you were in the middle of the apocalypse, trying to drive back to your safe spot or whatever. And just plain existing right now kind of feels chaotic and weird like that. It just has a weird energy. Like, being alive has a weird energy right now, you know what I mean? It's just strange being okay and being healthy. And I don't know why I'm making this sound like a problem, but it's just so strange to be a healthy person in the middle of so much death and grief and sadness, like, not to be dramatic or anything, but that's literally what's going on right now. So, yeah, that just is kind of really wild. And, like, especially with the fact that I go to university in a country which is basically just lifting lockdowns left, right, and center with good reason, right? Because their cases, they had lockdown for 5 months almost, and now their cases are dipping. So, they can lift it. And they're doing that, and everybody's like really having fun there and going on picnics and shit and getting their vaccines. The dichotomy, it just gets to me sometimes, and I feel like unfollowing every single influencer that I follow in the UK because I'm just so jealous. And it just feels so like futile. I mean, it feels like a futile thing to do, to be posting about anything else right now, but I still do that as well. Never mind. This is just a whole rabbit hole right now, and if I go down it, I'm just gonna end up crying or something. Yeah, I feel like unfollowing UK influencers because I just can't relate to them. I just really, really cannot relate to their lifestyle right now. It's just so wild that they get to have fun while this is going on here, and it's not their fault, and they should be having fun, but it just like, it's nothing personal. I'm just jealous of them. um Fucking like social media honestly makes me want to throw up right now. And it's not even just about the UK influencers, it's even about like I just read this tweet like a few minutes ago where it was like, Tiger Shroff, this Indian actor, he reposts something Faye D'Souza, who is like a journalist. She posted about like, what can you do to help? And the top pointer was like stay at home and make sure other people are staying at home. And then I go on Twitter and see that this guy has basically reposted this post, and then some paparazzi clicks a photo of him and his girlfriend literally going for a holiday to the Maldives right now in this situation. Yeah, like they're just like flying off and they're gonna chill or whatever. Stay at home, wear your mask and stuff, while this guy literally just hops on a plane and goes off to a country that's like safe because, well, he's privileged enough and he can do that. And it just made me really mad. Like, UK influencers, at the end of the day, it's my problem, it's on me that I'm mad at them. Tiger fucking Shroff, just dick. What a dick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like him. I'm sorry if you think he has a hot bod or whatever. His brain clearly does not match up. So, list of people I'm mad at today. Number one, Tiger Shroff. Honestly, if you're listening to this episode, I just want to warn you that it's going to be really complainy. I'm going to complain a lot because that's all I feel good for right now, to be honest, which is really sad. But yeah, I just feel like a complaint freak. What does that even mean? What is that? I just made that up. Anyway, it's like 12 in the night. I'm just not supposed to be awake right now. Yeah, I just feel like complaining a lot. I don't feel good enough for anything else. I don't feel qualified to do anything else, to be honest. But if you're listening to this episode, like, if you want to be in a happy mood, and if you associate this podcast with like your daily or your weekly dose of serotonin or whatever, I'm sorry guys, I just cannot do that this week. It just feels so wrong, and it feels like going completely against my, I don't know, sense of like ethics or morality of what fucking ever. And I just can't record a happy episode today, or even like a distracting episode. I cannot. I mean, I could talk about some things, and I will next week, but this week, I'm sorry, it's a lot right now, and I completely get that you don't want to listen to this episode because I'm probably like the 50th person you're listening to whine about the state of the world right now, and that's fine. I get it. Um, Thank you for still choosing to support my podcast. I love you, and it's okay if you wanna shut this off right now. I'm fine with it. Um, Anyway, like literally looking at people's stories, like people who live outside India, looking at their stories and seeing them have fun and go to the beach and go to a restaurant, and God, like I see these fucking influencers like sitting at these crowded ass marketplaces, just chilling with their friends, and they're like, wow, my beautiful city, or like my beautiful friends, or whatever. And that's fine, good for you, I guess. But literally looking at those posts or seeing those photos or videos makes me feel like a Deshdrohi. I don't know why. Like, I'm not even doing that. I'm not endorsing that behavior. Do I wish I could be them? Of course I do. But I don't know. It makes me feel like a Deshdrohi. And to people who don't understand Hindi, who listen to this podcast, a Deshdrohi is basically somebody who betrays their nation. I'm sorry, I just feel like I'm feeling the dumbest fucking emotions right now. Like nobody is benefiting from me feeling like a traitor to my nation when I look at a American influencer story or whatever. Like nobody is benefiting from this, but I will still think it. Like I just feel like the most negative person on the planet right now. There's just a lot of intense self scrutiny going on in terms of just like, I am privileged enough, and why am I feeling sad, or why am I feeling angry or miserable right now when I am safe, and I should be feeling happy, like I should be enjoying, not enjoying. I should just like be okay with where my life is at right now, but I can't be okay with where my life is at right now because I don't know, my brain or whatever. And then I'm just like mad at people for living their lives the way they are living their lives, even though it's not their fault. I mean, sometimes it is their fault. Like with Jackie Shroff, that was completely his fault. But I just feel like a lot of it has to do with just some weird, twisted survivor's guilt, wherein I'm okay and the people around me are okay, but when I go a little further along my circle, people are not okay, and people on my social media are not okay, and I can't tap through two stories without somebody begging for plasma for their family members, or for blood, or for oxygen, or for a hospital bed. Especially in the second wave, I feel, where it's just, I think in the first wave it was kind of distant, obviously, because the number of cases wasn't remotely as high as it is right now, but it was kind of a distant thing. Like, you were doing all that you could to be safe, but like, as far as, and that's again a sign of privilege, but as far as my eye could see, I could hear about the migrant crisis, and I could listen to stories of people still being exposed to the virus, and like essential workers being mistreated and things like that. And you felt bad about those things, but you didn't see your friends falling sick, and you didn't see your family falling sick and things like that. And that's kind of happening right now at an overwhelming degree, like in a really, really exacerbated sense. And it's a lot. I don't know how else to put it. It just feels like a lot right now. And yeah, it's just that sense of survivor's guilt, which is even more magnified right now just because of the way things are. Okay, I have to tell you all this because I'm being super truthful on this episode right now. But like, okay, so I actually muted the stories of some people who were posting a lot about, like, where to get help, and so person needs help and plasma or injections or whatever. And I muted their stories and their posts. And I felt like a load of crap. I felt like scum of the earth. But I logged out of my main because there were a lot of calls for help on there, and I did all that I could. I felt at the moment that okay, I've posted all of this stuff. I think people in my circle have access to that information now. So I logged out of my main for my mental health, and then some people who have followed on my private were also posting a lot of stuff about and then I decided to mute them, and then I felt like, yeah, I felt like that. And it was also for my mental health, because I feel like my private account is like a escapade type thing where I can take a break, pause for a second, not care about what's going on outside, because I need that sort of getaway. I mean, I think most people do, I don't know, but I had to do that, and I felt like a load of crap for doing it. And I don't know if you guys have had similar experiences. Like, yeah, I felt like shit. I still feel like shit about it, but it had to be done because mental health and all that. So yeah, that was also a thing that happened. He was like, I can't do a lot about this. I mean, I personally don't know anybody, any medical professionals or anybody who could help. I've put some resources. I think people have access to them in my circle and they can use them, but I don't know. I don't benefit from this information and I don't have anything to contribute, so I muted it, and I still felt like a huge pile of shit. I saw this tweet a while ago where it was like this woman who said that, like, it was a viral tweet, so you guys must have seen it maybe. This woman was saying that, a few years down the line, when my children ask me, hey mom, what did you do during the pandemic? I'm gonna be like, I didn't do anything major, I just became a worse person overall. That that was like, haha, it was funny back then, but right now it's really, really relatable, because I get mad at people for the smallest things that are not their fault, and I just feel like I'm becoming a more hateful person and a more negative person, and just being exposed to so much not positive shit right now is excruciating for my sense of, I don't know, balance when it comes to, I don't know, emotions or whatever. And I'm just clearly feeling more of the negative right now. Why are you even listening to this podcast? I literally trying to make this podcast like a happy place. Like, everything is literally, every fucking thing is pink, and I just try to be happy and nice I don't know. I feel like a miserable, like fucking miserable and hateful person right now. I do not like this version of myself. I wish I could do something about it. I'm trying to do something about it. I literally even worked out today, but I just feel like an overall really hateful person right now, and very judgmental and very not compassionate towards people who are making mistakes. Like usually I'm the first, not the first, but like usually I understand that sometimes it's not my place to understand what people are doing. I get that. But right now I feel like judge, jury, and executioner for everything, and that fucking sucks. Like that just it's just making me an overall worse person. And I completely relate to that tweet. And if I ever have children, I'm gonna tell them that it was not fun. It was just not fun being me during the pandemic, because I do not like this version of myself. And if you guys have any tips on how to be a more positive person, please let me know in the comments below. I mean, send me a voice note or something. I'll include it in the next podcast for public service. Maybe it's just PMS actually. Maybe it is just PMS. But yeah, I can really tell that I'm becoming a very negative person and a very sad person. In fact, Sarah, my friend Sarah, sent this very relatable voice note today to me when I was talking about, when I posted on my Instagram that, hey guys, let me know what you want me to talk about on the podcast. And Anvita said that she wants me to talk about why humans so stupid. And humans are really fucking stupid, I swear to God. Why? Just why? I think Sarah also posted the story last week that if we didn't have a curfew or something, people would still be going out to clubbing and posting photos of themselves clubbing. And this is like in India. Yeah, I completely agree. They will still be doing that. And yeah, just goes to tell you that people really, really suck. Anyway, I'm gonna play Sarah's voice note right now. Actually, guys, little bit of a trigger warning. There's a mention of depression and self harm in the following voice note. It's all like humorous and stuff, but it's still there. So if you don't want to listen to that, I would suggest please skip forward 1 minute. So here we go.
The fact that I'm using way more sad, depressing, self harm stickers now is proof that I am becoming sadder, because as soon as the mood of my stickers change, that just like reflects my actual mood.
I completely agree. Like, I don't use stickers so much, but I do use emojis a lot. And I feel like my emojis have really changed over the past 2 weeks. Like, they used to be, I think the top emoji used to be like a heart, or I think it was like a heart, and that, the face where it's like that cute face, with the big eyes and the I don't know what's it called. It's like, the puies. Yeah, I'm gonna call it the puies emoji. So it's the puies emoji. It was the puies emoji, but currently it's the woozy emoji. Then it's the red angry emoji. There's a crying emoji, and then there's that emoji which is just showing its full set of teeth and like really like that kind of. I'm just gonna put the emojis down in the show notes. So yeah, those are my top emojis right now. And also the emoji which is like smiling but there's a tear falling out. It's just like awkwardly smiling, and yeah, there's a tear falling out of one eye. And also the clown emoji. So yeah, those are my moods right now. And yeah, I definitely relate to Sarah, because my emojis right now are expressing the kind of person I have become. I really don't like this person. I don't understand her. I wish she was a better person. I wish she was happier. I wish she had a better coping mechanism. I wish she had a better sense of just how to deal with herself and her own fucking thoughts. And I wish she didn't have to make a fucking podcast to learn how to just manage her emotions in a healthy way. But here we are. This is who I am, and yeah, it's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. I don't know when, but I'll figure it out. I wish I wasn't a sad and miserable person right now, but then, you know, I feel like what would I do if I was a happy person? Like, also, guys, sorry if there's a sudden change in the voice quality. I just turned my mic around to see how this part of the mic records. I probably should have done that before I started recording the episode to try out, but let's see. What was I talking about? Yeah, like, if I become a happy person and if I am happy and being like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna let the curfew get me down or whatever, what would I do? Like, would I be one of those people who was like, in the first lockdown, I remember there was this specific TikTok sound which was like, you have to start romanticizing your life. And people kind of eventually made it a joke, but yeah, it was pretty funny. And yeah, like I want to be that person who's like, oh my god, I'm gonna romanticize my life, I'm gonna make a chai, sit next to a window. And I certainly don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, lockdown is a blessing because I get to focus on my hobbies and I get to spend time with the people I care about most. Like I do that anyway, like I can do that without a fucking curfew, which is and a fucking pandemic which is causing people to die. Anyway, yeah, I just don't want to be one of those like toxic positivity people. And I'm sure there is a balance which exists, but it's just so hard to find it right now. I will admit though, today the weather was really nice and it was cloudy outside. It was also the first day of the weekday curfew. So I did open my window and I did sit on my beanbag, and like I wrote this episode while doing that, and I was listening to this song. What's the song called? It was yeah, Mystery of Love, because it just felt like it was windy and it was a nice wind blowing and there was like pollen like drifting around in the air. So it was that kind of moment, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy the moment. And it was so hard to actually get myself to stop like hating myself for enjoying something and actually enjoy it. And just for 15 minutes I was just like telling myself, it's okay, you can have fun right now, you can chill out. But yeah, that's what was happening. Like I said, it's just a weird twisted sense of survivor's guilt, which I think I am feeling and you guys could also be feeling. Really not a fun time, but yeah. I think in a weird way it comes down to, the fact that I am at home and I'm staying at home and I'm keeping myself safe, that when I'm keeping my family safe. But there's when I see all these calls on Instagram for blood or whatever, it just I can't do much about them. It's like except just like retweet or post some sources in the link in bio thing. Like, I can do that, but there's really not much else I can do because it's, illegal. It just comes down to the notion that if I can't do something for somebody else, then why do I deserve to do something nice for me? Like, if I can't help somebody else, why should I just be helping myself like that? It just feels selfish. It feels selfish to focus on my own mental health right now and do things that I want. And, I have this free time and I could be, learning how to play the ukulele in my room that's been gathering dust for the past like 6 months, a hobby that I tried to pick up in the first lockdown but didn't happen. Um, I could be doing that. There's a bunch of stuff that I could be doing. I could be becoming a more well read person. I could be, reading more because that helps me argue with right wing people better. But it just feels futile to be focusing on myself right now because I can't. Yeah, like it's the only thing I can do, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to be doing things for other people. But I can't do that. So it's just this endless cycle that I'm kind of stuck in and I can't get out of. And so at the end of the day, I just decide to just be harsh on myself for just trying to be okay, trying to have nice mental health, and just trying to stay sane during one of the worst medical fucking failures in the history of our country, whatever. In that way, it's like it just becomes that kind of outlet, and I shouldn't, and obviously, I can't make anybody else that outlet, especially not in my family, because not only is it not their fault, I'm also in lockdown with them. And if I become a hateful person in the sense of like being angry at everybody else and not myself, then that's just gonna cause problems for me because I'm not gonna be a good roommate or a good flatmate or just whatever, a family member because I'm living with my family. So, which is kind of sad. I don't know how to figure a way out of this. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what other outlets there are. I should probably fucking, I don't know, do an internship or something. I don't know. Wow. I'm sorry to bring up capitalism again, but the solution to my problems is capitalism. Wow, that's a first. That is a fucking first. Anyway, at the end of the day, I just feel like a way out of this is just to be okay with whatever you're feeling. I mean, there is no right or wrong way to be feeling right now. Like, don't be too harsh on yourself. That's not going to do anybody any good. And I should take my own advice on this one. But there is no right or wrong way to be feeling right now, unless you feel the need to fuck off to the Maldives. That's a wrong way to feel. Just let me put that out there. Yeah, there is no right or wrong way to feel. None of us have been in this situation before. There is no manual on how to be a 20 something with access to the internet during a deadly pandemic where your government is doing nothing for its people. Yay. Anyway, yeah, there's no manual, there's no guidebook on how to deal with this. So, whatever you're feeling, it's valid, it's fine. We will get through this. I mean, somehow, I hope, because we do always get through hard situations, I guess. Um, People can do hard things. No. Yeah, we can do this. We got this. It's really sad right now. My bestie was supposed to come to Delhi, and I originally was not going to meet her because my flight was going to leave before that. But now that my flight is cancelled, I was like, hey, at least I will eventually meet my bestie, Asmita. But now I can't meet her because, her flight got cancelled too. So fun. Just not having a good time right now, guys. But like, it's okay. Just feel whatever you're feeling. It's fine. There is no right or wrong way to feel. I've probably said that 10,000 times by now in the past 5 minutes. But it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be mad at yourself. It's okay to be mad at Modi. It's more than okay to be mad at Modi, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, stay safe, stay chill. An update actually on my silly little rules episode. I actually broke a silly little rule today. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be staying here for the next I don't know how many months, trying to make my life easier, and just like the way I want it. Because another silly little rule, silly little rule, sorry, I have is that if I'm only in a place for like, or if I'm only in a situation for a short period of time and I know that I'm gonna get out of it, I don't make an effort to improve my quality of life. And now that I know that I'm going to be here for an extended period of time, and by here I mean in Delhi, why not try to make my life easier? So I made myself a timetable. I put my journal on my bedside table. I put a pen there so I can journal at night. I worked out today in the evening, which is crazy, and I washed my hair today. So which means that I'm gonna have to go like a whole, I don't know, 36 hours before I can do anything about my hair. But I broke the rules. I also put a water bottle on my bedside table so I can stay hydrated. And maybe that is a lesson we should take out of this. People really can do hard things, and I can break my silly little rules, like I did today. So yeah, if you have some silly little rules which are making your life miserable, try to break them, because the pandemic is just gonna make your life more miserable right now. And God knows we need things to make ourselves feel better. And don't be too harsh on yourself. Be happy, guys. No, I'm not gonna say that. Stay chill, stay sexy, because you're already sexy. Hug your pet, hug your dogs, hug your cats. I don't know what other pets you guys might have. Hug your mouse. Watch some fun YouTube videos, listen to some music, listen to your favorite podcast or something. Keeping ourselves safe and encouraging our immediate like family or whatever to be safe around us, and just that's a lot in itself, and it's the best we can do right now. And maybe a few years down the line, when I tell my children that when there was a pandemic and Tiger Shroff was in the Maldives clubbing or whatever, I was at home when I was recording my serial podcast, talking to my friends and into the void. And maybe they will be proud of me. Maybe they will be happy that their mom wasn't a complete dick. Yeah, that's much to think about, folks. Stay safe. You guys make my day, my year, my week. I just completely botched the chronological order on that one. You guys rock. Sorry for making this such a miserable fucking episode, but I had to talk about what I feel. because, main character complex. Anyone? I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. It means the actual world to me. And yeah, good night and have a nice evening.